youth photography doesn't quite look like that anymore, does it?
The whole world has changed, and we're having to change with it.
Would that be COVID or?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, COVID has changed the whole world for us, and in this last year, we've had to take the time and reinvent youth sports photography.
I just want to take a quick opportunity and dive right in as to what new youth sports photography looks like.
Terrific.
And so I'm going to bring up a presentation here, and we're going to walk through this here pretty quick. So your company, here's some of the different things they offer. California compliant safe sessions. Now, that's a mouthful in itself. California compliant, right? Holy smokes, we probably need more slides just for that topic. But the main key here being social distancing, touch-free ordering, and virtual group options. Pretty cool. You yourself have actually been in photography for 22 years of photography experience. I'm going to say photographing teams, right? You say shooting teams. I'm going to say photographing teams, leagues, schools, races, special events. I'm guessing if you could take a picture of it, you've probably done it.
Just about. I've actually been in the photography business about 35 years, 22 years doing T&I or team and individual photos. Love going out and photographing the kids and the families, that sort of thing.
Okay, well, something's changed and we're getting ready to dive into it here. So view first. View first. So you get to view your images before purchasing them. Am I getting that right?
That's exactly right. In fact, with this new system that we're rolling out this year, a parent is going to be able to view their children's images on site in real time on their cell phones.
Wow, technologies.
And then go home and it will be on their internet as well.
So that leads us right to 24/7 online viewing and ordering by the time photos are taken, right? No pens, no paper, no touching. Right?
Nothing passing between our people and the athletes or the parents or anybody else.
It's amazing. And then we're going to take a look also at level 2 and attitude panos. It sounds cool, right? So I'm anxious to kind of see what that looks like. Patented virtual group options. Looks like you can take individual photos and put them together to make them look like they were all standing together.
That's exactly right. In fact, what we do is we photograph each athlete in 4 or 5 different poses to give the parents choices. One of the last poses that we do, or I should say the last pose, is a team photo. So our team pose, right, so that we can then build the teams virtually without having the teams stand together like the old days.
Well, right, like the old days last year,
yeah,
right?
Exactly.
And so, even on the video that we opened up with, I think there's a segment of it that shows athletes walking up and off of a riser, right?
Yes,
team riser.
yes.
Those days seem to have moved beyond us now.
Unless the team absolutely insists on doing the riser shots or whatever, we can still do that. I still own the risers. but the thing is nowadays we can do it to where we don't have to have the kids in any particular order or whatever. And it's easy peasy.
Perfect. Okay, so let's talk about some trends in sports photography. So coaches, schools, leagues, safe sessions. We're going to say that word a bazillion times, right? Safe
Absolutely.
sessions. Less hassle, less responsibility, less administrative time. Now, I want to share with everybody that's watching this video, I have a history of being a football coach, about 12 years worth. And of course, the one that stands out to me is the less administrative time. Like, I like that piece. Like, I'm not an administrator, I just want to get our pictures done and move on.
Well, and here's the whole thing. With this new system, the board supplies us with a digital file of the athlete's name, the team that they're on, the parent's cell number, and email address, and that is all we need. If the day of the shoot, if the particular athlete has not been pre-registered and is not there, mom, dad come up with their cell phone, take a picture of our QR code, they can register them right then and there. But we suggest that it be done beforehand. It makes it much smoother.
Sure. Well, it beats the days of envelopes, and I know we're going to come
And
to
the league doesn't have to pass out envelopes. We don't have to write numbers down anymore. And there's no issue with cross-referencing images,
right,
because we're working right off the athlete's name.
It's amazing. So let's talk just briefly what parents want. More picture choices, of course.
Yep.
They want unique products. We're going to take a look at some of those. They want easy, and there it is again, touch-free ordering, right? And fast order delivery, which is huge, right? They
Yep.
see a picture being taken, but they don't normally get it for several weeks. Now they can literally get it within 72 hours, I think it was.
Actually, yeah, they actually see it in real time as we are doing the photography. If they would like, at that time, standing right there in the area, they can, on their cell phones, put in their order, place their order for any of our products. It'll be printed and shipped within 72 hours. So basically, within 5 days, you have your pictures in your mailbox. No coach passing out, no taking big boxes of envelopes back to the board, that sort of thing.
Yeah. So booster clubs, you can do things like banners and spirit sticks, program pictures for programs, community support, fundraising ideas, which I know are big, and then of course what the players want. They want to see some cool stuff, right? They want creative photography.
Exactly. We're going to have basic poses that they can do with their own slant on it. Everybody photographs a little bit different. And then we're going to ask each player to give us their best pose. What do they want to see? And that way everybody will have choices. Lots and lots of choices.
That's really cool. So now let's talk a little bit about how View First works. So first, you photograph each player in multiple poses. You collect the parents' emails, cell phone numbers, then you post the images, right?
Yes.
Online, and send an email link to the player's personal image gallery. So every player gets an image gallery.
That's right. And they're individual, so that other parents and that sort of thing don't have to worry about anybody else seeing the images, except if they were to share cell phone numbers, emails with grandmother, grandfather, aunts, uncles, they can go right in there and look at their own pictures.
So then the parents and players view the images and order right there. They can do it through
They can order it right there. They can wait till they get home. But here again, it will show up on their cell phone in real time.
That's awesome.
And one thing that we haven't covered yet is that they can also change the backgrounds. There'll be a complete catalog of backgrounds that they can grab a background, drag it into that particular picture, and order it. They can order multiple pictures if they wanted to off of those poses that we've done, and change the backgrounds.
That's incredible. Now let's talk about what's really important, and that's the coach's advantage here. I'm
Yeah.
just kidding, of course. But as a coach, so these are huge topics. No envelopes or photos to pass out. That's
Exactly.
a big thing for a coach. No money to collect. I'm not opposed to collecting money, but on picture day, it's certainly kind of a hassle, right? Teams are photographed fast. And talk about that for a second, because normally, I mean, how many players does a baseball team have? I'm not even real familiar.
Generally 12.
Okay,
Let's use the number 12 anyway.
So 12 on baseball, probably roughly the same in basketball. Football, of course, the numbers are enormous.
35, 40, 50. We've had some leagues with 60 athletes
Per
on
team.
a team. Per
Right.
team.
And so that takes a long time to get through that. But
Yep.
this new View First picture day eliminates a lot of that.
The team picture is part of the individual's pictures. Once we are done with that individual's 4, 5, 6 images, they can go home. They're done. They don't need to worry about sitting on the bench or getting up on the risers and that sort of thing.
Yeah.
Also, a huge relief and liability for my insurance companies.
Oh, I'm sure, which actually, there we go. Safe
Yeah.
sessions for staff, athletes, and photographers. And that's actually a valuable point.
Oh, absolutely.
You know, if you don't have to put a young man or young lady up on a riser that's 6 feet off the ground, that's always a safer thing.
Exactly. And the other cool thing is we no longer have to worry about what is behind the team picture. We don't have to worry about things sticking up here and there, trees, houses, whatever. We do all custom backgrounds behind the teams.
Yeah, that is really cool. So some advantages for the parents, of course, is that they can view the images before purchasing.
Yep.
Right? Way back in the old days, again, last year, you would shoot images, and then deliver them on picture day, some
They-
a month later, like whatever, and
Exactly.
that's what they got.
Exactly.
Personal online image gallery, we've talked about that. Wide product variety, convenience of ordering online. Of course, we're going to take a look at some samples as well. And there again, there's that word again, touch-free ordering. And again, really, I don't know, and I know this is maybe off the topic of photography, but as a result of COVID, social distancing, all the safety precautions, there's a lot of things that are never going to go back to the way they were.
No.
And there's a lot of changes that are being forced on us that honestly are good things.
I am really looking forward to this. And one thing that I would like to mention in here too, we talk about touch-free ordering and that sort of thing. We mentioned that we're going to do, let's use the round number of 4. We're going to do 4 images. When a parent goes on to order their package, if they choose a package, in the past, we had 1 image that got printed on every one of those wallets, 5x7s and 8x10s. Now, they are going to have the availability to take all 4 of those images, and if they wanted to order 3 wallets and of 1 image and 1 wallet of the other image, a different image for their 8x10, a different image for their 5x7, or if they have 2 5x7, they could use 2 different images. The possibilities are endless.
That's amazing.
As far as what parents are going to be able to order.
All right, so let's take a look and talk a little bit about attitude panos. This really comes down to the image that athlete's choosing, right?
Yep.
It's their attitude, if you will. You mentioned it earlier. They can choose a pose. They can strike a pose, if you will.
Exactly.
And you can use that to then put that in these panos. I'm assuming is panographic, right?
Yeah, they're actually the
Panoramic.
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 The actual print is generally a 10 by 30.
Okay.
And I'm sure most of our families that have worked with us before have seen our panos. On Photo Day, we will have some on display at our booth.
Okay.
And we will have a booth there so that if the parents have questions, if they want to learn how to do this on their phones, because this is all brand new technology.
Yeah.
So, and they can do that. And what we're basically seeing here are team photos.
Right.
So that's a thing where it's so customized that each parent can have their team photo however they want it. They can order individual ones. So one parent can say, okay, we want you to use this picture, another parent say this picture, so on and so forth.
Right.
And we can put it together individually for each parent because they're the ones that are building them.
Yeah, that's pretty neat, especially with siblings.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so you could have individual pictures of siblings and yet end up with a whole family photo at the end of the day.
Exactly, exactly.
Yeah, that's pretty
Yeah.
cool. So obviously these types of images make great banners. And I'm gonna use a big word here for me, or series of words. So it's, what do we call this here? Endura metallic paper. Endura metallic paper, it just sounds awesome. So, but it's literally like a metal paper, right?
It is. It's a metal infused paper. And here's the original idea of this paper was they keep telling us down the road we're going to be seeing full 3D cameras. And this paper is layered with metal in such a way that they actually do look 3D, even with our regular cameras nowadays.
Wow, that's just amazing. So there's a couple more samples of those types of things. Now I have some of those pictures on that metal paper. It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they last forever. So now let's talk about level 2 products a little bit. These are custom pieces, right?
Yes.
These are custom artwork pieces. Here's a sample real quick, and I love this one because on the left, if you'll notice the before picture, there's 3 photos of a young man standing on ice. But if you look to the right, all 3 photos are now one photo with just an awesome background and his name and everything. It's pretty cool.
Exactly. Well, in the past, in the old days, last year, a lot of the families will remember that we would take an athlete off to the side and we would do what we called posed action photos. And of those posed action photos, we would take 10 or 12 of them. Then we would choose which photos actually made the panel. Not anymore. These are the photos that are taken, the 4 or 5 photos taken in the booth, along with their team picture. The parent will, on their cell phone, pick out which ones they want. They'll pick out the text and anything else that they want on their poster, and they will order it themselves right there. Here again, it will be printed and shipped within 72 hours. Depending on the mail service,
Sure.
It could be in their box in 5 days.
Yeah, that's amazing. Here's a couple more samples. So the background colors are typically coordinated with the player's clothing, right?
Yes.
And the colors there. The customization includes things like name, team, logo, year, what school, league
Yep.
they're at. Of course, the designs vary. And there, of course, is that big phrase again, Kodak's Endura metallic paper. Just makes me want to attend an event, metallic paper, so it's kind of cool. And then, of course, they can select 1, 2, or 3 images on the designs. We're taking a look now at a few other examples, which, of course, you've photographed all kinds of sports, it would appear, right? Between cheerleading
absolutely.
and dance
Yes.
and karate, you name it. Okay, so the next level in group portraits, these are the virtual groups, and we've talked about this a little bit, but this is a little different than the attitude ones in the sense these are more the traditional team
Photos.
photo.
This is where T&I comes in. And we have individual and team photos. We've been doing them for, like I say, 22 years. And this is the new world of T&I, where actually each photo that you see of every player here was taken during their 4 or 5 image photo session, 4 or 5 pose image session. And they are put into they're cut out and then put right into a team picture with an appropriate background for the sport.
That's pretty amazing. I think this is kind of cool that every single person is in sharp focus. Makes sense, right? You're taking their pictures individually.
Yep.
And so everyone's equally visible. Everyone's individually color corrected. Consistent lighting, of course, makes
Yep.
sense. Again, you're not taking one photo, you're taking 20
The lighting,
photos and
the
making
lighting
one.
does not change like it does for team picture.
And here's what I don't think I
team.
would have ever thought of, but consistent head size. It's interesting to me because you're right. And I have, again, as a football coach, I have a lot of team photos up on my office wall. And now that I think about it, you're right. The folks on the back riser, their heads are smaller than the ones on the front.
That's right. Absolutely
So it's
right.
kind of cool. And of course, also being involved in youth sports and whatnot, it's nice to not have worries about inclement weather, right? If it's raining or whatever the case. It sounds like what you do could be done indoors, outdoors,
Exactly.
virtually anywhere, right?
Exactly.
Names can be added, of course. That goes without saying. A sharper pro style look. Definitely agree with that. So. Obviously, the virtual groups, a great alternative to the traditional group pictures. By the way, back to my selfishness as a football coach, you're going to be done with that team picture a whole lot faster because in reality, you're not actually taking it.
We're not doing a team picture. We're not taking the time to put them on the risers and that sort of thing. Saves an amazing amount of time.
Yeah, and of course, again, in our current environment, the big thing is the safe and social distance.
Yeah.
It cures that concern, right?
Yep,
So
yes,
that's
it does.
pretty cool. Obviously, you can choose from lots of designs. Here's several samples here. These are mostly all football. Okay, so hopefully youth sports is getting ready to fire back up in a lot of different areas. We're starting to see it. Some of the restrictions are being lifted. We've got things changing, which is good. We need our kids back playing sports. So what's next? They want to talk to you and get started.
It's very simple. All they need to do is give us a call. We are at our phones 24/7. There's always an answering service so that if they can't get hold of us, if we're out in the field photographing other leagues and that sort of thing, leave a message. We'll get back to you right away. Also, we've posted here our office number and my personal cell phone number because we want to make sure that you're taken care of.
That's fantastic. Well, Dave, thanks again for the time. I can't tell everybody watching this and encourage you to reach out. Just from the technology alone makes me want to have you come up and do pictures for me, right? So anyway, guys, hope you found this information helpful. We will talk soon.
Thank you very much.